Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everybody. Thank you very much for your time and for being over here. I see a bunch of people already connected. Thank you all for joining us today. As you know, we are doing our Q&A info session today for the IXL Innovation Olympics. And as you guys know, it's the world's largest innovation consulting competition and pretty exciting to be almost wrapping up the recruiting process of the summer cycle, which will be starting within the next couple of weeks. So great news coming up, really exciting stuff. And as you know, the idea was to do a short, just focus Q&A session. But since we saw that there was a lot of people signing up, that a lot of people that still have not signed up or applied to the program, we want to give a quick introduction. So we'll spend the first about 15 to 20 minutes talking about the program, and then we'll jump to the quick Q&A in the end. So I see that there's more people joining already. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. So as you know, this is we're working through GoToMeeting, and over here on your right side of your screen, you must have a control panel that has a place where you can put your questions. So throughout the way, if you have any questions about what I'm going to be talking about, make sure to ask them right there. More than happy to stop in the middle of it and review your question, or you can just wait all the way towards the end and we can review all the questions in the end. So I think we have enough people to get started. So I'm just going to jump into the presentation over here, and let's just do this. So key objectives over here is introduce you guys to the program, share best practices for getting selected and obviously for winning the competition, and then talk about providing some guidelines on how to get enrolled to the program, and wrap it up by answering any questions you guys might have. Agenda for today, we're going to start by doing quick introductions of who's IXL Center and who's the Gym Institute. I'll talk about them in a little bit. Then review a full-on program overview of the IXL Innovation Olympics, talk about best practice for getting selected and for winning, and wrap up with some next steps and the Q&A. So that being said, let's get introduced. I am Arnaldo Arnal. I am IXL Innovation Olympics Director of Student Recruitment, and I also work as Dean of Students throughout the way. So I make sure that you guys have the most amazing experience you guys can have while you are working on this program. Person in the middle is Maria Pullen. She is the program manager for this Innovation Olympics, and she also works closely with ambassadors to make sure that we get the voice out there to as many people as possible. The last person over here, I think you can introduce yourself. You got julija.kaminskaite. Hello, Julia.
Hello, Arnaldo, and hello, everyone. So thanks for being here at this our Q&A session. And I'm julija.kaminskaite, and I'm joining you all the way from Lithuania. I know that we have some students joining now from Asian countries, so Canada, Australia. So welcome to you guys. Good evening to you, and good morning to those who are in the Americas. So for the IXL Innovation Olympics program, I'm responsible for the communication. Most probably because of that reason, you will hear quite a lot from me. So stay tuned. And my other role is Business Development Manager at the Global Innovation Management Institute, the organization that Arnaldo will talk to you about in a few minutes. And that is also the organization that will give you one of the biggest benefits while participating in the IXL Innovation Olympics. So thank you for being here. And if you have any questions, as Arnaldo mentioned, use the question box, type in those questions, type in the schools you're coming from today, and we will do our best to address all the questions that you have. Back to you, Arnaldo.
Definitely. Awesome. Thank you very much, Julia, for being here with us. Always really great to be working with you and in partnership with Gym Institute. And as Julia mentioned, don't be shy. Use the Q&A, the question box over there. Ask us questions, but also if you want to introduce yourself, get introduced and talk to others. I see there's lots of people. It's, as Julia mentioned, really late at night for you guys, straight from Singapore. Some of you guys coming in from Philippines, some of you guys coming in from Europe. So thank you guys for holding on tight. And I see a few of you guys, it's actually very early for you, from San Francisco and from UCLA. Awesome for you guys to be here. So let's just get onto this. So introducing who is IXL Center and the Jim Institute. So the organization that you guys have on the left is the IXL Center. We are a global innovation consulting firm really focused on business innovation. We are looking to build capability in different organizations and solving challenges or solving big problems from Fortune 100 companies to all the way to government organizations, nonprofits, to startups, and so on. And then in the other side, you got the Global Innovation Management Institute. Now, this is the global nonprofit professional organization that is focused on innovation management. And these guys, they are setting the standards worldwide on innovation. They've got thousands of people worldwide certified already, and through this program, you have the opportunity to work really close with them, get trained by them, and by the faculty of the Jim Institute, and also get certified if you pass the exam. So I'll talk about that in a little bit. So those are the two organizations that are bringing in, making sure that this program happens, and make sure that you guys have the best experience ever. So now going in deep on the program overview and how this works, basically this is IXL Innovation Olympics is basically addressing a senior executive challenge by leveraging 5 graduate student teams from all over the world to tackle that particular challenge. So imagine a crack the case competition on steroids. You will be working for 8 weeks, really working as real innovation consultants for this particular challenge, for this particular company. And these are all real clients, real companies with real challenges. So it's really exciting stuff. And as you can imagine, through the Innovation Olympics, we're basically disrupting management consulting and disrupting business school education, since you guys are putting into practice what you're learning on side by the Jim Institute. So it's a really cool way to get experience and learn a new methodology and process to become more innovative and more and really truly innovators while leveraging this particular framework. So moving forward, how it works, you will see that you will be working directly with one particular client in one particular challenge. And these clients, and they vary in size and industry scope. And for every client, there will be one consultant from IXL Center working as an IXL mentor. This guy will be working with you guys, very closely with you guys, as process and quality control. He will be more like a project manager, a senior consultant for your team. And for every client, you will be working with, in parallel, with 4 to 5 other consulting teams. And every team is from a different university, from different backgrounds, different areas all over the world, tackling that particular challenge. Now, within every team, you guys need to find yourself a faculty mentor. That faculty mentor is another mentor that you will be able to have that is a local coach that can provide extra guidance, extra feedback, and extra time for you guys to really make sure that you guys really nail that question down and provide the best solution to your client. Now, within every team, you guys are a group of 4, need to get a group of 4 to 6 individuals from your university to tackle that challenge. And we push on diversity as a must. You guys need to get yourself a real diverse team, and that will help you come up with more disruptive solutions to tackle that particular challenge. So, that being said, types of universities we've worked before, you name them, we've worked with them from all over the world, hundreds of global universities, from top MBA programs to top PhD programs to top engineering schools worldwide, from basically every single region in the world. So it's been a great router of universities, and pretty excited to see that there are even still more universities that we're getting to work with as we speak, and more universities that we're adding to this roster of partners. Now, going on to the other side of beyond these universities. I'm sorry, my computer froze here for a second. There you go. Going into the organizations. So we've been doing this for over 10 years now, and we've been able to work with over 150 of the most established companies worldwide. And they, as mentioned, they vary on size, corporate scope, reach, and locations they're really from all over. I'm currently working with a company that's based in Lisbon, Portugal. I am based here in Boston, actually Cambridge, Massachusetts, but working remotely with this organization in Portugal. Also worked with organizations focused in nonprofit sector or in social impact. Really diverse set of organizations that you might be working with. And then on the other side, the types of organizations, they are from Fortune 100 corporates to nonprofits to government agencies. Like, for instance, last year we worked with the governor of Atlántico, where the city of Barranquilla is in Colombia. We helped them define how will they build an innovation district over there. So it was a really interesting challenge. But we've even worked with a soccer club in Italy that they were looking to expand their brand into new opportunities, to a nonprofit that was looking to grow economic development of a particular region. So types of industries, you name them, we've got them. So these are three, just to give you an idea of what are the types of challenges you might be working with. These are the three different challenges that we've worked for, just to give you an example. First one over here, IBM. I can imagine you know them. You've heard of them. They were looking to enhance digital accessibility towards the cognitive impaired. So what does this mean? People are getting old and people are getting more and more disconnected. So how can we help them get connected to the new digital era? And that was a really interesting challenge, working directly with their IBM team here in Boston and their Watson team as well, to see how we can leverage their tools to make this happen. Then another challenge was more focused on market entry strategy. And this one was with, for an example of a Brazilian beverage company. They are one of the largest alcohol beverage companies brands in Brazil. And they are currently doing their market entry strategy into the U.S. So we helped them build different opportunities. We had teams from different regions all over the U.S. We had a team from UCLA in California. We had a team from Stanford in San Francisco, a team from Chicago, Booth up there in Chicago. We had a team here from Babson in Boston, and a team from University of Miami in Florida, and every region was tackling this challenge to see what were the best channel partners or the best business models or the best ways to enter the market. And then another example is Airbus. So you most likely know about Airbus, the European multinational corporation building airplanes. They were looking to create the vision of what will the future passenger jets look like in 2040. So a lot more disruptive innovations looking in there, more of visualizing how will the future look like. So really, really different sorts of challenges that you see over here. For instance, we're going to be working with one of the largest paper manufacturers and recycling organizations in Brazil. They're a multi-billion-dollar organization, and they're in their process of manufacturing paper. They create a byproduct that comes out of the pulp that is in the process of manufacturing this paper, and they're looking for new opportunities around that. So it's more like a green energy, a green opportunity for them to find new solutions for that byproduct that right now it's just being wasted, it's thrown away. So how can you find new applications, new opportunities, new channels, new markets, new business model innovations to help tackle that challenge? Also, in line, we will be working with one of the largest organizations in food and spices. This one is, you must have heard about them before. They are called McCormick. They're really big here in the U.S., but they're a global brand, and they're looking for the future of spices. So great challenges to work on. There are about 5 different challenges that teams will be working on. We cannot disclose all of them yet. We're still in the process of signing the contracts, but once we have all those, then we'll send out an email with the description of all the clients and all the challenges, so you have a better idea who you might be working with. Now, overview of the program. I'm going to go very quickly through this, but basically this is an 8-week-long process. You guys will be working on a real challenge and a real competition on a real program where you will be working as innovation consultants, and you will be meeting with your client in 4 different occasions. The first one, we kick off with the client where they pitch their idea, they pitch their challenge, they pitch the organization, and you guys will be able to ask them questions and really understand where is that pressure to innovate coming from and why do they need to innovate. So after that, you will spend about 2 weeks working, collaborating with each other. So this is a great opportunity to learn from other top business schools worldwide and learn how they think and collaborate with them so that way everybody can get that much smarter, that much faster. And that's where the collaboration phase ends, and that's where the competition starts. Then you will have 3 key meetings where you will present your findings to the client. You will present 5 different ideas, which are what we call as growth platforms or fields of play. Get feedback from the client, and they will select one, and then you will spend 2 more weeks building what we call as business concepts. You will build 5 of these different business concepts and pitch them to your client in a 20-minute presentation followed by a 10-minute Q&A. So you will have those 30 minutes to present to your client, and then you will get assigned one concept, and then you will build out a full-on business case to say why will your client be successful pursuing that particular concept into the market. So again, that's how it works. You guys need to really flesh out these ideas, and you really need to work as entrepreneurs and build prototypes, build mock-ups, talk with people, go beyond doing research online with Uncle Google, because if you can ask it to Google, most likely the client asked it as well. So go out there and talk to people, build surveys, build brochures, build prototypes, simulate them, build a website and test it out with market and possible partners. And that will really bring in great insights to your clients. Moving forward, I talked a lot about what you're going to be doing. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about what are the 5 or 6 key benefits you get out of being part of this program. Number 1, you will be basically pitching your ideas to senior executives. So in a previous challenge that I was working with, I was working directly with the director of innovation for a $7 billion organization. So I don't know if you guys had the opportunity to do that before, but if not, this is a great opportunity to really pitch your ideas to high-level executives and their HR arms as well. So we invite our clients to invite their HR managers, so there are opportunities to get hired. And by the way, I always say this example, I was a student as well 5 years ago. I was part of this competition 5 years ago. I was participating in the Innovation Olympics, and I wasn't hired by the company, but I was hired by IXL Center to continue pushing these initiatives. So I'm a living example that the Innovation Olympics actually does find you a job, either through IXL or Gym Institute or one of our partners, or directly through the client you'll be working with. So next, learn a world-class methodology. As I was mentioning before, the Gym Institute provides great training materials, great information, great framework that you can really apply on any sort of business. Obviously, you're going to be applying it to this particular client in this case, but then you can apply it to your own clients. You can apply it in the company you're going to be working with, or you can apply it to your own startup that you want to be launching. So it's a really great methodology that you can apply and learn, and then if you get to be trained on that methodology and you take the exams, you will be able to get certified, if you pass it, obviously, certified by the Global Innovation Management Institute in their level 1 certification. So those 2 benefits right there, they are worth about $2,500. So that is completely for free for you guys. The client is paying for them. So it's a great opportunity to get trained and certified completely for free. So there you have it. Those are really 2 key benefits. Then if you go through the process, you go through the certification, you go through the full-on process of the Innovation Olympics, you will be added to the Jimmy Resume Book. And this resume book is really key because it's shared across all of our corporate sponsors, all of our partners, all over the world. So it's a great opportunity to give a shout out about your resume. So really another great value add. Then obviously you want to have fun and gain bragging rights. It's always fun to say that you were able to beat the MITs or Harvard from all over the world. And lastly, there's some money in there as well. So best team gets $4,000, second team gets $2,000 respectively. Now, moving forward, we need to move fast. As you know, we are wrapping up the recruiting process, and we will be closing it off next Monday. I recommend you, if you haven't done it yet, to apply. The sooner the better. Don't leave it until the last minute, because we will be starting to get teams sooner to assign them to clients. So the sooner you do it, the better. But by Monday, we will be stopping recruiting for a while, and we will be start assigning teams to clients. We will continue to receive applications, but that being said, the higher likelihood of you being assigned to a client is depending on how fast you fill out your application and apply now. If you already applied, that's awesome. Great to have you on board. We will be reaching out to you shortly with key next steps and talking about who your client that you're going to be working with pretty shortly. So this is an example of a calendar where we will be kicking off the orientation around the 3rd or 4th week of June. Then we will be every week we'll be having a 1-hour webinar with the Gym Institute with one of their trained faculties from all over the world. And then you will have they are in total 5 key meetings. But they are 4 key meetings where you'll be pitching, 3 key meetings where you will be pitching directly to the client, and we will be wrapping up around the 3rd or 4th week of August in this case. Oh, the other thing I forgot to mention is those blue diamonds you see down there. You will be having more of those. They are weekly mentoring sessions with your IXL Center consultant and mentor. So you will be able to meet with them or her every week. Every week or every other week for 30 minutes to an hour to really understand how you guys are doing, get feedback, and get more advice on how to move forward. So that's it for that part. Now going into some best practices because we want to make sure you have a great experience, but we also want to make sure you win. So firstly, I'm going to talk about, if you guys haven't applied yet, I'm going to talk about how to apply, how to make sure you don't just apply, but really get selected. And then what are the elements for students to really win this competition? So the first part over here in applying, diversity. Diversity is the most important element that you guys need to have. You really need to have a real diverse team with different backgrounds. You want to come from places all over the world. You want to have gender diversity. You want to have really show diversity as a must. Okay. You want to show that diversity also through your application with a video. So as you might know, if you haven't done it yet, if you go through the application process, you will be able to sign in with upload a video. And this can be a 1 to 2 minute video. If it's a little bit more, it's okay, but try to keep it short and simple, where you're going to highlight why should we pick you? Why are you guys the best team to work with? And you want to showcase that you are really good in speaking, a really good public speaker. You want to showcase that you have a really diverse team. You want to showcase that you guys are true entrepreneurs and are pushing the boundaries of innovation and so on, and really show why should we pick you. And then you want to have in there within your application, we really highly recommend you guys to, well, not recommend, it's a must that you need to bring to the table a faculty mentor. This faculty mentor, as mentioned, is someone that can provide you extra help along the way, will provide you a bigger network of people to connect with, and will provide you feedback as well when possible when sharing your presentations. All right. Then once you get selected to apply, we want to make sure you win the competition, because you don't just want to be here to be part of it. You want to win. So what have we seen of top teams that win? Well, number one is commitment, and that's the most important one. You need to be committed to your team. You need to be committed to your mentor, to your faculty mentor, to the consultants, to your clients, to the process, to the Gym Institute webinars. You need to be committed. If you're not committed, you will most likely fail into this process. You really show that you are not in here just to put it on your resume. You want to show that you are in it to win it. So commitment is key. And then lastly, the research. So we've seen that the top teams that really shine over here are those that make the most of not just secondary research, but primary research. And primary research is key, because that is the research that's going to make you step away from all the others that are not able to make the right connections, or are not able to really push the boundaries, and building those either artifacts to build business case or building those networks for your clients. And when I talk about artifacts, I mean that you really need to build stuff. So through this process, I've seen teams build out websites, build out brochures, build out prototypes, build out surveys, and gotten hundreds of surveys of hundreds of answers of people from all over the world to find real insights for your clients. You want to go beyond those databases that you can find online or databases that you can find in your school. Obviously, those are important, but the real research that's important is that primary research that you guys do by yourselves. All right. So that's basically it. As next steps, you want to go online and apply now. You can go to ixlcenter.io/for-students, and you will find the application link right there. In fact, if you have your phone, you can take it out and take a snapshot of that QR, and that will take you to that website. As mentioned, we pushed the deadline to next Monday. That's June 10th. And we need you to sign up as soon as possible. So that being said, let's go into questions. Julia, I see you've been answering questions over here. Lots of questions going on. Awesome. Thank you guys for being so active.
Yes, indeed. So many questions, and thank you for asking those. And definitely it also means that there are a lot of things that need to clarify, not only for those people who are asking, but for everyone who are interested in this competition. So let's start with this one of the main questions that I see reappearing. What is the criteria for this very exact cycle, Summer 2018 IXL Innovation Olympics? What is the criteria for teams to be selected to participate?
Awesome, good question. And again, the criteria goes back to the client. We always simply recommend diversity, and as diversity is a must, but the criteria will go back to what is it that the client is looking for. Mostly, the clients are looking for top students that might have some experience in consulting or some experience in business, and in some cases there might be some clients that are looking for particular experiences. Like, for example, the paper company that we're going to be working with, they're looking for people that might have experience working with pulp and paper, or manufacturing, or recycling, or one or the other. So those are just some key elements. But the most important thing that will make sure that you guys not only apply but get selected is diversity. So you want to have a real diverse team with people from different regions, people from different with different backgrounds, and variety on gender, variety. Like, you really want to have real diverse. So I'd say that diversity is a must. And tied to that, I want to mention that on every cycle, we work with anything from 4 to up to 10 clients. Most likely, and on this cycle, we will be working with about 5 different clients, and therefore, we will be only able to place about 25 teams. So that being said, the issue is that we will receive about 100 applications, if not more. And so you really need to differentiate yourself from the others and show off why we should pick you and not somebody else.
Thank you, Arnaldo. If I may add to that, also your professional experience is also very important, and your academic experience. So if you have, let's say, 3 MBAs, 1 engineer, and 1 PhD in biotechnology, that would also add to your element of diversity, and also that would be a great benefit for you, because that means you have a wide range of professional and academic experience. Okay, moving forward, very similar question to the previous one. How do we match student teams with the clients?
Good question. And again, very similar to the previous one, it depends on the client. So we do try our best to get challenges that are aligned with your expertise, but it goes back to the client. So as mentioned, we will assign 4 to up to 6 teams for every client, and the client is the one that's going to be making the last decision. We will share with the client your application and the video of your with your application, but they're the ones that are going to be making the decision based on the university you're coming from, the functional diversity of your team, your work experience, geographic location, region, and so on. So it ends up being multiple inputs that really build out the team for the client. So want to make sure you have a solid video, a solid application, and a LinkedIn profile updated that you can that we are going to be sharing with the client. Does that make sense?
That makes perfect sense, Arnaldo. I hope that makes sense to the students. If not, please ask that in the question box. So since you mentioned the video, there were a couple of questions about the video. What does it take to prepare a good video? And there was also one question saying, do we need to be somewhat industry oriented?
Good question. So unless on this particular case, unless you have, because these are the two ones that are looking for industry oriented, unless you have particular experience in food or in paper, it's fine if you have real diversity. So as Julia was mentioning, get people that are from different industries, and that will definitely help you out. But then to the video, you really do not have to make an amazing, crazy video, and you don't have to spend any money at all. Obviously, you can do really solid, good videos with a phone, and you can clip them up together with. There's apps for doing that, obviously. So you have an example of a really good video that we had from a team that we worked with a couple cycles ago on the application that you can review. If not, Julia, I think we have more online on our YouTube channel that people can watch as examples.
We do not have those on our YouTube channel, but if you go to YouTube and type in there IXL Innovation Olympics, you will see plenty of team videos popping up. And we time to time select really outstanding ones, and we share those on our Facebook page. So you go there and you can see those videos on our Facebook page. And all of you have been invited this morning to follow us on Facebook. All right, moving forward. And now, in case teams are getting selected and they are participating in the IXL Innovation Olympics, what are the criteria for selecting the winners?
Good question. So over here, we're not saying that the team that comes up with the best idea, the most innovative idea, will win. The team, and this is critical because since this is lots of academic focused as well, we want to build innovation, the next generation of innovation consultants. So we are going to be grading you as how truly great, a great innovation consulting team you guys are. And that is how organized you guys are, how strategic focused you guys are, how well you were able to manage the client's time and questions, how fastly you were able to send back the feedback or send back the presentations, and really how solid team you guys have. And that also added by which team has the best strategic idea and the best innovative idea, tied to how well consulting team you guys are, will be the criteria to choosing the two winners. So it's not just who comes up with the best idea, but who comes up with the best idea and is also a great consulting team.
Thank you, Arnaldo. Question about the winners. So how many winners are there going to be in total? Are the winners per client, or are there two winners from the entire cycle?
Yeah, no, great question as well. We get that a lot. So there are multiple winners. So the chances of you winning is 2 out of 5. So there's highly likelihood of you winning. So for every client, there will be one team that gets first place and one team that gets second place. So if we have 5 clients, there will be 5 first place winners. So that is 5 times $4,000 spread out throughout all the winners.
So now jumping back again to the assigning teams to the clients, many questions about that, and that makes sense because we are the phase of selecting the teams. So Andrew is asking that he saw on our website that there are 10 innovation platform categories, such as healthcare, energy, and the others. So he's asking, are we going to be assigned randomly, or we are allowed to choose from the set platforms or categories? Again,
good. So the thing is that since we're so close to the deadline, you cannot get we will not be able to assign you a client that you really want to work with. We might, but it really ends up being depending on the client. So for those that are able to sign up a month before we close recruiting, they are able to sign up and say, I want to work in this particular industry. So if you have already signed up, and you signed up about a month ago, so by May 6th, we will be sending you out a different email that says, hey, these are the list of clients, which would be your top 3 clients that you would like to work with, and we'll do our best to assign you to one of them. That being said, since we're already in the last phase, that opportunity, if you haven't signed up yet, is not relevant. But you can say, look, show in your profile, you can sign up and say, look, I've got experience in oil and gas, and therefore I would love to work on either an energy challenge or something like this. But we cannot confirm. We'll not be able to accommodate all of everybody's needs. In the end, it goes back to the client.
Yes, exactly. So whatever, guys, your skills have, whatever is your experience, it's taken into consideration very seriously. That's why we asked you to prepare those videos, and that's why we scan your LinkedIn profiles very carefully. And based on those criteria, we actually recommend those teams to the client companies so that you could use your experience, leverage your knowledge when working on the client's challenge. Okay. So another question about assigning teams. Can the same team be assigned to 2 clients?
So unfortunately, no. We only assign one team to one client. We have had issues before where there is one one individual working in 2 different challenges, and that's a little bit complicated. It's because most likely you're pursuing your master's, and maybe you're doing another job and doing this on the side. It's going to be complicated. So we only assign one team per client. We do not assign multiple clients for the same team.
Thank you, Arnaldo. So another rather complex question, meaning there are many questions in one question, about the mentorship of the IXL Center. So it's being asked, for the mentorship from the IXL Center that will teach us innovation and methodologies, usually how many hours and duration it will take throughout the week. So I believe you can simplify the question and say how many hours per week per individual you need to assign to the IXL Innovation Olympics.
Yeah, so the IXL, well, I think that's two sides. From what I understood, first is how many times will you be able to meet with the IXL Center mentor, and that is most likely it's going to be one or twice, even twice a week in some cases, depending on what part of the competition you are. For me, I actually work as a mentor as well. In some cases, I meet up on a Monday to provide the team's feedback on their previous presentation and provide them key next steps. And then we do a quick check-in on Friday to review their presentation, and then they present on Monday, for example. But overall, we say that on average, you'll be able to meet either 30 minutes a week or 1 hour every other week throughout the competition. Sometimes it gets a little bit more intense, obviously, towards the end, but that's up to you on your availability. And the more you leverage the mentor, obviously, the more you'll be able to get out of him. And then your own dedication to the program. So again, that depends on you. We've seen amazing teams doing their executive MBA and doing a full-time job and still doing this on the side and come up as the winners. So it will really depend on you guys, how well organized, how structured, how well you guys communicate, how well you guys work together as a team, how good project management skills you guys have. So I've had teams that dedicate only 8 hours a week and do great. I've had teams that because they're a really dysfunctional team, they have to dedicate a little bit more. But on average, 10 hours a week should be more than fine. I've had teams that actually don't do anything throughout the week, just meet with me once and then spend 24 hours straight building their final presentation to the client. And in the other case, I've had teams that just meet a couple hours every day and do amazing job as well. So it depends.
Yes, so it's up to you guys what you also want to take out from this competition. And if you get selected, we highly recommend for you at the very beginning, have this goal, what you want to achieve at the end. And throughout the process, see if you're meeting those your weekly or monthly KPIs of what you have decided to achieve. All right, now let's jump into the questions about time and location. So since we are running this competition globally, there is a question, are all the presentations done in the Eastern Standard Time, meaning Boston, USA time, or can we adjust the time zones?
Yeah, so again, the straight answer is it depends. Everything is done remotely. There are some few cases where meetings are in person, and most likely there are challenges that are local here in Boston, and we get teams only from Boston or are local in Brazil, and and that one's managed with teams in Brazil or in Italy or something. But most likely, I'd say 80% of the challenges are done completely remotely, and they might be aligned to the client's time in Philippines or to the client's time in Brazil, or in my case, I'm working with a client in Portugal, so we have meetings for the Eastern time, like starting at 8 a.m. But I'm sure that we will be able to find a time that will work for you. So I'm actually currently working with a team from Singapore Management University in Singapore. And I see that there are many from SMU over here. And for those meetings, we try to set them up very early. So very early for us. So around 7 or 8 p.m. for you guys. But there are some cases where we have meetings that are at 11 a.m. our side. So you will need to meet at 11 p.m. your side. But you will find a way to make it happen. These are real life challenges, real life clients, and in the real world, we need to accommodate ourselves to our clients. So if our client all of a sudden says we need to meet at 2 a.m. Boston time, well, it's going to be hard, but we'll figure it out a way and we'll make it happen. Most likely that's not going to happen. We try to be well mannered with you guys and try to allocate times that work for everybody, but it could be a case, just saying.
Yes, exactly. So we try to manage everyone's expectations, students' expectations, clients' expectations, and then there is us in the middle who also try to, adjust our time zone so that everyone would be happy and satisfied.
Yeah. In fact, Julia has an example. Julia a month ago was up at 3 a.m. Working with a team in Dubai that was doing a presentation to the Dubai government. So this sort of things happen, and it hopefully will not be the case for you guys.
Even if that is the case, don't worry. It happens in everyone's career, especially if you are really interested in pursuing consulting career. So basically, that is a very good preparation for that. So I said now we are at the base of questions about time and location. Arnaldo, you basically answered, but let's bring in clarity once again into that. What about the location? Is competition done completely online? And what about those cases when it's not online? How is it going to be managed?
Right. Good. So I'm going to answer that with examples. So usually everything's online, and we do all the meetings through GoToMeeting, like this one right now. And then we do mentor sessions through through
Google
Meeting.
Hangouts.
Google Hangouts. Yes, Google Meets or Google Hangouts. Thank you, Julia. And then in some cases, which has happened, that are in person, we might have, and I'm going to give the example that I worked with a pharmaceutical company that was based in New Jersey in last cycle. They said, look, we have a small budget. We want to bring in at least one person from every team to come here to our headquarters and present in person to the CEO. And so obviously presenting to the CEO was a great opportunity. We had a team that flew in from Canada, a team that actually they flew in one person from LA, and everybody else found their way to get there and be able to pitch their ideas to the CEO of a multi-billion-dollar pharmaceutical company. So obviously, everyone was crazy to go to New Jersey to make it happen. So there might be cases where the client finds a budget to make it, and in some cases, like this one, there was a team in Calgary that said, look, the client can pay for one person to come, but we'll find a budget internally within our consulting club to get another person or to present and to be in there as well. And so that way we can have two people in person and then the other three connecting remotely. So it might be a case that a client has a budget for doing so. It might be the case where if everything is simply done completely online, or even it might be the case where there might not be a budget, but you guys can find a small budget to make it happen and present in person.
Or you might be, for example, working with a Boston-based company and you're students from Boston, so for you it's easy to meet and no budget required for that whatsoever. Okay, this section is done. Let's jump to another section. Again, so many questions, and I know, guys, we are over time, but this session is being recorded, so if you really need to run, you can run. But Arnaldo and myself, we will still be answering a couple of questions because there are so many of them. So let's jump to another category, which is about the legal requirements, legal issues. So once you're getting selected, can you claim that you're working for a client company?
All right, so yes and no. In some cases you can, and there are some clients that are very open for having people say that you're working with that company, and if that's the case, then you're more than welcome to say it. But usually what we say is that you can say that you're working as innovation consulting interns or innovation or associate innovation consultants and doing your internship through IXL Center, and you're working on a particular project with a large pharmaceutical company or a multi-billion-dollar paper manufacturer from Brazil or something like that. So it's going to depending on the NDA, the non-disclosure agreements we have with the clients, that you will be able to state specifically the client's name, but you will definitely, any case, you will definitely be able to state on your, for example, on your LinkedIn profile or on your resume that you have been working as interns through the Innovation Olympics on a particular challenge, and you don't have to state the particular name of the client, but you can state a little bit about like just say a large or a Fortune 100 or Fortune 500 pharmaceutical company or a multi-billion-dollar organization from Brazil or something like that.
Yes, exactly. So once you are selected, you will get pretty clear guidelines how you can use this experience on your LinkedIn. And just to clarify what Arnaldo was saying, to add on that, what he was saying is that one way you can say that you're working for your client. This is pretty rare occasion because you're still not working directly, still working via IXL Center. So when you are claiming you're working via IXL Center, via IXL Innovation Olympics, if legally you are able to say that you can work with the USA company, you can say that you are intern, or then in any case scenario, whatever you're doing, you can say that you are contestant at the IXL Innovation Olympics. So if you guys want to put this experience, and be sure you want to put this experience in your resume, because we have a great feedback from many students coming back to us, then we will find a way how this could be placed and how we can leverage this experience. Another question about the legal issues is that the materials, the research that is going to be done throughout the IXL Innovation Olympics, for whom does it belong?
Good question again. And unfortunately, everything that is built out of this competition belongs to the client. So the client is the one that's paying for this information, and it's going to belong to them. So depending on the NDA, the non-disclosure agreement that you will sign, you will be able to share some information with others or not. But everything that comes out of this that you have built will belong strictly to the client.
Thank you, Arnaldo. All right, so I think we can jump into the last section of questions. We answered a couple of similar questions already, but now let's have a complete clarity because we are at the finish line of assigning and signing up for the IXL Innovation Olympics. The question is, when do we know if we qualify in this cycle?
Again, solid question, and we get that a lot, and usually what happens is, and we're going to be wrapping up the recruiting process by next Monday, June 10th. So on June 10th, we'll download all the applications, and we'll be start assigning those applications to the particular clients. It will take about 1 week to get confirmation back from the client saying, yes, we want to work with these teams or not. And then within that week, so 2 weeks from now, you will be able to get an answer from us saying, you will be working with this client, this is the orientation session date, this is the calendar for your kickoff and so on, and this is the mentor that's going to be working closely with you throughout the way from IXL Center. So it will take us about 2 weeks to get back to you, but don't worry, we'll be sending out another email next week sharing specific dates that will give you a better idea of when we will be doing what. And even if you are not selected or not, we will still share the kickoff date of the orientation date, so you can lock that in your calendar. And maybe if you are selected, you can participate. Unfortunately, if you are not selected, we will be able to get your application and resubmit it again for the next cycle, which will be starting in August.
And when do the teams get the answer that they are being selected to participate?
Yeah, so again, that's going to be within the next 2 weeks. So that's once we have assigned them to a client. Yeah.
Okay. So then it was already covered, but seeming there are more questions coming. So what kind of clients we are going to have for Summer Innovation Olympics, and how many of them, and so how many teams? So 3 questions in one.
Sure. So to answer that, the types of clients, we've got 2 that I can confirm already. One of them is called Klabim. This is a multi-billion-dollar organization from Brazil. They are the largest manufacturer and transformer and recycler of paper in Brazil. And the challenge is going to be around working with the byproduct that comes out of their manufacturing process, finding new opportunities for them. There's another challenge that's coming in from McCormick. McCormick is one of the largest spices manufacturer in the world, and these guys are looking for new opportunities around spices. And this challenge will be kicking off within the next 2 weeks as well. So you will most likely, if you're selected, you will hear from us a little bit sooner. And this is a global challenge as well. And then we have other 3 more clients that have not yet been confirmed 100%. We're in this process of getting contracts signed back and forth and talking with them. So we will have a total of about 5 different clients. One of them, for example, is in oil and gas, and they're a company from Colombia. They're looking for new opportunities in more sustainable operations. There's another one that is in food as well. This is one of a Fortune 500 food company here in the U.S. There's another pharmaceutical company as well from the U.S. That is looking for new opportunities actually in biotech. And there's a couple of more in the pipeline. So we will share a lot more information once we get all the contracts signed, which most likely will be around mid next week. So in total, we should get about 5 clients for this summer cycle, and industries are varied. I forgot to mention there's a technology company as well, a startup that's looking to do a market entry strategy into the U.S. Coming in from Brazil, working in IoT, and then there is another food company as well, based here in Cambridge, in Boston, Massachusetts, and they are a franchise of milkshakes that's looking to expand and create new opportunities. So that one most likely will be closing in as well.
Yes, so there will be around 5 clients from various industries, and each client will get 5 teams. It can be 4 or 16, but on average 5 teams. So 5 clients and 25 teams in total. All right.
Exactly. Yes.
Let me see another questions. Okay, so we have really hardworking students here who are saying, "What is it possible to be in 2 or more teams if you signed up for more than one team, and if those teams qualify?" So, person is now in 2 teams who signed up, and if you select both teams, is it possible for that person to participate with 2 different teams?
So the straight answer, I'm going to say no. You will be only if, for example, if you signed up already and you signed up in 2 different teams, and we will go through the applications and see if you're repeated. We will tell you that you will have to decide in which team will you be working with. So which client will you be working with? But we encourage you to only apply with one team. I know you want to make sure that your application will go through and you guys will be selected. But if you're applying with multiple teams in order to bump up the chances of being selected, you can simply bump up the chances of being selected by having a great, really diverse team, a great video, and a great application. So do that, and I'm sure that you will succeed. And again, we have received. I see that there's many people from AIM and SMU, from Philippines and Singapore. We can only assign in total of 5 of the team. So if we get 10 applications from AIM, we will be only able to assign five teams.
In the best case scenario.
Yeah, exactly. In the best case scenario, yes. Because we might be, in the end, there might be a client that only wants US-based teams, so we will not be able to place you guys with them. But that being said, we will get your application, and we'll ask you first, but we will get your application and automatically enroll you to the fall cycle of the program.
Got it. So one of the requirements that we have on the application form is that all team members should have not less than 2 years of professional experience. And now Camille is asking, what if one of the team members has less than 2 years of experience?
All right. So Camille, it's fine. we encourage the teams to actually do have 2 or more years of experience. But if 4 teammates actually have 2, even 4 or 5 years of experience, and there's one person that has a couple of internships in their background, but have really good grades and do great in their school, it's fine. It's not 100% mandatory. It will not kill your application if you have less than 2 years of experience. But we do encourage you to have at least other teammates that have more experience than you.
Exactly. Okay. As you already addressed that, but let's have it clear again. If the team is not chosen now to participate in Summer IXL Innovation Olympics, can they sign up again?
Yes, definitely. So we will. There's 2 things. We will either ask you if we can automatically move your application to the fall cycle, or you can apply again with another team or change your team format if needed.
Right. So Ronaldo, they really now over time, like double the time, and questions keep on coming. And thank you so much for those questions. Maybe one last one. It's really long. Give me a second.
And again, if you guys still have more questions, you can definitely shoot us an email. I'm going to put over here my screen so you can see our emails. One second. Over here, you can shoot us an email if needed. So do a screenshot and capture our emails, and you can send us an email afterwards. If not, you can go to our website at ixlcenter.io, and you will see Julia there, and she pops up as a chatbot, and she will be able to, her or me or someone from the team will be able to answer your questions there. If you try chatting with us and because it's not we're not awake or we're not available to answer you straight away, you can definitely contact us. There's another form that you can fill out individually and send us an email through there or send us a message. But we try to make sure we answer all the questions we have. We know we're running. We already ran out of time. We were supposed to do this in 30 minutes. Now we did it in 1 hour. but we can answer one last question and we can close
Yes.
up and wrap it up.
So one last question is about the LinkedIn profiles, because you mentioned we are scanning those profiles. So Marcelito, I hope I'm pronouncing it right, is asking, when we are selecting teams and people within the teams, what we are paying attention to on the LinkedIn profiles. Should they put emphasis on 3 key areas, or is there some other way they should actually update the LinkedIn profiles?
All right. So when you want to show in your profile your, obviously in your LinkedIn profile, your what has been your experiences. And within your experiences, you want to show that if you worked in food, you want to really make sure that that's there. If you had worked in the pharma industry, you want to make sure that that's there. But you just basically build out your resume, your LinkedIn, as with as much information, as much as experiences you have. So the more the better, obviously. And then when you build your application, you will be able to put in there 3 key areas of expertise that you have. So you can have that in there as well.
Amazing.
I don't know if that answered your question,
Yes, indeed. So guys, you will hear that a lot when you're participating in the Innovation Olympics, that you will see what is your client feeling, because you're working not per se with a client company, you're working with people in that company. So try to imagine what is that person paying attention to, what is important for that person when they are selecting you, right? So update your resume thinking in the other person's shoes. All right, so more questions are coming, and we really would like to answer those. But I believe, and I don't know, Ronaldo, how you feel, but I think we covered the most important questions so far. And if you have any questions, drop us an email. Those who registered, all of you were supposed to receive email from me, so for sure you have Arnaldo's and my email addresses. Just respond to that email and give us any questions. We will try to answer to those. And with that, we are really, really looking forward to working with you, if not this cycle, then later this year. And we are very, very excited to have these amazing students interested in IXL Innovation Olympics.
Definitely. Thank you very much for your time, guys, and for your questions. You're really great questions. And looking forward to having you all in this summer cycle of the Olympics. And if not, in the next cycle, or in both, that'd be the case. So best of luck, and keep on pushing innovations worldwide. All right, guys?
Thank you.
It was a pleasure talking with you. Bye.